Whilst in the league, our focus is on keeping pace with Manchester City at the top of the table. Today, our focus is on the Champions League. It's the second leg of the quarter-final in Italy, and then we come home to a game at Wembley against the team that we beat in last season's final. Can we progress to this season's? Let's go and find out. Hello and welcome to episode 46 of Irons in the Fire as we try and make West Ham good and great again. My name's Mark, and on today's episode we have for you two games. First up, we have AC Milan in the Champions League quarter-final second leg, 5-2 up on aggregate effectively half-time in this tie. But of course, we are in Italy for the second leg, which means that there's plenty of scope for Milan to come back and bite us in the rear end. So we need to be very careful. And then we go to Wembley for a full-on match against Manchester United, the team that we beat in the final last season. FA Cup semi-final at Wembley then, second game of the episode. So it's a full-on episode today, which we hope you are going to enjoy. And if you do enjoy it, don't forget to leave me that big thumbs up, subscribe, and hit the notification button. And leave me a comment. We love comments here on the channel. And thank you very much for all those who have commented up to date. And if you're wondering what's going on this channel, the best way of keeping pace of what's happening and when is to follow me on X, formerly known as Twitter, at JustOffsideFM. That's how to do it. And, well, since you were last with us, we've played one game. Of course, last episode, 1-1 draw, bit of a dour affair. Against Leeds, a 5-2 win against Milan. Obviously, we'll come back to that in a moment. But we played Leicester in between, and it was a 3-0 win. And this is how it went. If we have a look at the stats, they had no shots, nothing on target, but 66% of the possession. We had 16 shots, 8 on target, 50%, 1.87 on the old XG. And 34% of the possession. Possession-wise, we shouldn't have got anything out of the game. But we did. And it all started with Tammy Abraham after 9 minutes. Zuma bringing a ball inside to Upamecano. Upamecano puts it over the top to Vagman. Vagman volleys it straight into the path of Abraham. Puts it away. 1-0 at half-time then. And it took 10 minutes into the second half for Tammy Abraham to double our lead to 2 goals on 55 minutes. Ball back to Zuma from Vagman. Ward-Prowse crossed in, and Tammy Abraham, Parisi the supplier, Tammy Abraham heading into the back of the net. 2-0 then on 55. Leicester just weren't doing anything really a great deal, so we didn't have to worry too much. And then Kurt Zouma got up to round it off to a very complete 3-0 win, the second time in a row against Leicester. Corner from Ward-Prowse straight onto the head of Zuma. 3-0 it was then, and that's how we have gone since you were last with us. This is how the table looks at the moment. Manchester City played 34 games. They've got 4 games left to play. 38 played in this. They've got 4 games left to play. They are on 81 points. We have 6 games left to play and are on 71 points. Arsenal are third, also on 71, but we have a game in hand over them now. I'll explain why in just a moment. Liverpool are fourth. They've played 34 games, so we've played 2 games less than them, and they are on 70 points. So it's all about winning games in hand at this stage of the season. Manchester United have only played 31 games. They've got 7 games to go, and they are on 60 points. Aston Villa are 6th. Are 32 games played, 58 points, and there's a 6-point gap then down to Crystal Palace just outside the European places on 52 points, having played 34. Majority of the other teams have played 34 or 33. As it stands at the moment, Everton in 17th place on 34. 7 points adrift are Wolves, having played the same amount of games on 27 points. 8 points adrift. Burnley in 19th, and a colossal 12 points adrift. Brighton at the bottom. I think Brighton are pretty much gone at this stage of the proceedings. So that is how it looks in the Premier League at this stage. Quick look at the medical centre. Just Vladimir Sufal is out. He's very close to coming back. 3 days, in fact. Kamada and Parisi back, of course, fairly recently. Parisi fighting for a little bit of fitness is the word I was looking for. So he's needing to find that fitness, and he's been playing extremely well since he's come back as well. Right, which takes us to the main task of today, which is first up is the Champions League quarterfinal second leg. We go to the San Siro for this one. They are without or possibly without Musa, who is doubtful with the torn groin muscle. They have 3 players unregistered, and they have 3 players unregistered: Krunik, Baku, and Junior Messias. We have 3 players unregistered in De Thomas, Mavropanos, and Friedel. Including Vladimir Sufal is doubtful with a pulled abdominal muscle. I don't think he'll be playing today, in all honesty. Just played them that once, of course, the 5-2 win at the London Stadium in the first leg. Got a 3-goal cushion, but that's it's not undoable if they play like they did in the first leg. We just need to try and contain them, certainly for the first half, and then see how we go into the second half. Right, without any more to do, let's go and have a look then at the team that will face AC Milan in this second leg of the Champions League quarter-final, a place against either Inter or Paris Saint-Germain awaiting us. We won't know until tomorrow what's happening with that. Just going back to the Premier League a second, because I did say how Arsenal finished and had a game, played a game more than us, and were below us. And the reason for that was the result on Sunday. They lost 3-1 to Aston Villa, which is a bit of a shock result, really. 3-1 loss to Aston Villa, and it means that's the reason why they are below us, having played a game more on the same amount of points. So we have that game in hand over them now. But like everything else, we need to win those games in hand when they come along. So we'll be picking those up in due course, no doubt. Right, let's get on with it then. Milan and the team that will face Milan at the San Siro. And here is the team that faces Milan in the San Siro in the Champions League quarterfinals, second leg. Mazzulia continues in goal. Parisi, Zuma, Todibo and Kahera are our defensive line, mainly because Vagaman is tired since the last game, but he will feature in this game, I feel sure. We also have Sufal back on the bench, but unlikely to play unless we really, really need him. Souček, Ward-Prowse and Upamecano usually plays in defence. He's just trying to shore up that midfield a little bit. In the midfield, Samadic sat behind Bowen and Abraham. Bowen playing as a false 9 today. And on the bench, we have Areola, Paqueta, Emerson, Wagnerman, Kamada, Shalanga, Kudos, Sufal, Fornals, Mbuma, Tarima, and Ollie Watkins. And here we are, Milan playing a 4-3-3 with a defensive midfielder. We're playing our usual formation with Samadic sitting behind Bowen and Abraham, of course. As they enter the pitch, we're playing in our away kit today. And absolutely no highlights in that first half. It's been a bit of a cagey affair, but I guess we'll sort of hang on to it here at the San Siro. 5-2 on aggregate still, 0-0 on the night. They've had 5 shots, 3 on target, 0.25, 55% of the possession. We've had 1 shot, not hit the target, 0.06 on 45% of the possession. 2 yellow cards, Todibo and Kahera. Todibo after 12 minutes, Kahera after 30. Nothing really to report at half-time. If we have a quick look and see what's happening in the other game, Paris Saint-Germain 0, Inter 0. It's 1-1 there as well. Mbappe has missed a penalty after 22 minutes as well in that one. So, at the moment, we're no clearer as to who we'll be playing in the semi-final if we get there. And we do get our first highlight. 52 minutes in. Ward-Prowse with a corner. It's going to be an in-swing. It's come off the inside of the post. It didn't go in. I'm not sure who got the header away. Bowen. Parisi. We'll see now from behind. It was Zuma. Oh dear, goalkeeper I think pushed it onto the post. With a goal kick. Parisi on this side. Some changes imminent. 66 minutes in. Souček through to Samadic. Samadic. What's he going to do? He's having a shot from distance. Just gone over the top though. And with 67 minutes on the clock, making 3 changes at this juncture in time. Hopefully not upsetting the momentum too much. Thomas Souček, who's tired, he's come off and is replaced by Lucas Paqueta, who can change games very, very quickly. Fabiano Parisi has come off and Emerson has come on that left side, can play as the complete wing back. And the final change that we're making at the moment, Jarrod Bowen, he's obviously lots of tired legs out there. Jarrod Bowen, he's coming off, and we've brought on Mohamed Kudus. And 73 minutes on the clock, Milan with an attack. It's across to Loftus-Cheek, but Loftus-Cheek gives it away. Samadic, Kudus, who's come on, has Todibo, Zuma. Nothing stupid here, boys. Mazulia to Todibo. Todibo, steady Eddie. Paqueta, Samadic through to Kudus, but he was tackled. And the ball won back by Milan. Goes out wide to Pulisic. They've moved to a 4-4-2. Emerson getting in there. Well spotted by Emerson. Samadic through to Paqueta. Good save by Maganan. And that was going in. Paqueta, as I said, can change games on a dime. And going to be a short corner. Samadic to Ward-Prowse. Ward-Prowse plays it back to Samadic. Kudus. Oh, and it's gone wide. I wasn't sure whether the goalkeeper had made another save. Samadic switching it to Paqueta. That was Paqueta's the save from Maganan. And with 75 minutes on the clock, only with 5 substitutes available, of course, difficult to decide on who to take out and who not. And I think we've got a tired legs to come off, and really would like to have brought on Wagnerman on that right-hand side to try and work that wing a little bit more. Just wondering whether we actually push Carrera out wider, just see if that works. 75 minutes, as I say, on the clock, making our final 2 changes then. Upamecano has come off. Shalanga comes on in that centre of midfield as the ball-winning midfielder. And Tammy Abraham, who is also very, very tired, he's been replaced by Ollie Watkins. And they have a corner. Pulisic with a corner. Swung in. Oof. I think that's gone out for a goal kick. And it's all over here at the San Siro. Nothing very pretty, but it was job done. That 5-2 win at the London Stadium was enough. A 0-0 draw in the end, and no goals to see. We had 8 shots, 2 on target, 0.90 and 44% of the possession. They had 10 shots, 5 on target, 0.87 and 56% of the possession. Mazulia having another good game. In fact, a player of the match game in goal. Magnan doing some saves as well. And I think all in all, we can be happy that we've done a job. We come here, we contain them, and, well, I'm pleased. We're through to the semi-finals of the Champions League, boys and girls. Can we get through to the final? Ooh, let's go and see who will be playing in that semi-final. Well, our side of the draw, we're playing Paris Saint-Germain. They beat them into, that is, in extra time by a goal to nil, 121 minutes. I mean, there wasn't a lot left in that game, was there? It was in injury time at the end of extra time, nearly in penalties, and into playing with 10 men as well. Had players sent off after 52 minutes, so they give it a very, very good go. So two Italian sides being knocked out here, Milan and Inter Milan, both of the Milan sides, which is a bit of a shame. So we will be playing Paris Saint-Germain in our semi-final. Barcelona, Liverpool, Bayern Munich and Real Madrid. Bayern Munich, of course, will want to get a result to try and get themselves back, because the final is in the is in their stadium. So they'll effectively be playing at home if they were to get there. But they need to overturn a 2-0 deficit against Real Madrid, the other big boys. So it could be a Spanish semi-final, or it could be Liverpool and Bayern Munich. Who knows? We'll bring you back when we've got the results from those games. And the results are in. Liverpool managing to get a 1-1 draw with Barcelona at the Nou Camp, or wherever the Barcelona are playing currently, because the Nou Camp's being rebuilt or some weird and wonderful thing. 4-3 on aggregate. Liverpool have beaten Barcelona, they are through to meet Real Madrid in their semi-final. Real Madrid losing their game 2-1 to Bayern Munich, but it wasn't enough to overturn the first leg, which by Real Madrid won 2-0, of course. 3-2 on aggregate then, and Real Madrid will play Liverpool. So if we can get past Paris, and it's a big if, we can get past Paris Saint-Germain, it'll either be Liverpool or Real Madrid in the final at Bayern Munich Stadium. So no fairy tale for Bayern Munich this season. Right, with that all said and done then, I think what we need to do, we've got a few days down to the game against Manchester United. Just an update, there is the semi-finals. So as it looks at the moment, episode-wise, we're going to play Brentford and Wolves offline, come back for Paris Saint-Germain and Crystal Palace, and that'll be Paris Saint-Germain and Liverpool in the Premier League, because we do need to have this run in the 3 games. So we're going to do Paris Saint-Germain and Liverpool, and then we will come back for the final 2 games of the season as we try and close in on Manchester City. We need them to slip up one more time, because we slipped up here, which didn't help. Had we not dropped those 2 points, we'd have still been in a very good position. But we need to continue that game in hand. I think one of them is the Manchester United game, so we're not going to play that until the penultimate game. So a very busy week that's going to turn out to be. Saturday, Wednesday, Sunday. And then potentially, if we get through the Champions League, a Champions League final, and even possibly an FA Cup final tucked in at the end of this season here. So that might not be the final episode, the final league games, should I say. Right, I'll come back just ahead of the game against Manchester United and bring you up to date with all the team news. And so we've got to match day here in the FA Cup semi-final at Wembley. And it's Manchester United that we face. Recent history, it's not too good. We've only beaten them the once in the FA Cup final last season, 3-2. A very tight match, always a tight match. Losing to them at Old Trafford earlier in the season, of course, by 2-0. But it was a 2-1 loss in extra time in the Carabao Cup final, which really sort of hurt, shall we say. Of course, in the Premier League last season, 5-3 loss at Old Trafford, a 2-2 draw at the London Stadium. So we've only played them at the London Stadium once, I know. We've got them to play yet this season at the London Stadium, so that's to come up. We're not finished with Manchester United just yet. Team news, they are wired out. Manu, who's out with a broken lower leg. We have 2 doubtfuls. Kamada is out with a bruised knee, and Jean-Claire Todibo is doubtful with a tight calf. Both of them picking up injuries in training in this last week. So without any more to do, let's go and have a look at the team that faces Manchester United in this FA Cup semi-final. And here is the team that faces Manchester United at Wembley here in this FA Cup semi-final. Mazzulia in goal then. It's Parisi, Zuma, Upamecano and Wagnerman are the defensive line, as we have Todibo out. And I've just realised, Carreras, the only real defender we've got on the bench. We'll need to check that in a minute. Schlanger, Ward-Prowse and Souček are in midfield. Kudos sits behind Bowen and Abraham up front. Areola, Emerson, Samadic, Watkins, Soufal, Paqueta, De Thomas, Carrera and Fernells all on the bench. As I say, there's just one thing we do need to check. Do we put Todibo's back in training tomorrow? We could put Mavropanos on there. He is... who do we take out? I'm thinking Todibo for De Thomas. Got Watkins on the bench as a striker if we need to bring him on. Soufal is back. Did I just put Todibo on there? How did I just put Todibo on there? It was supposed to be Mavropanos. I'm not quite sure how I did that. So Mavropanos then is on the bench, making a rare outing on the bench. We'll hopefully give him some game time. At some point. He's played in the under-21s, I think it was, and had quite a good game. So there we go. That one change then, putting Mavropanos on to the bench. And here we are at Wembley. Manchester United, they are playing a 4-3-3 with a defensive midfielder. Very similar to AC Milan, of course. Playing our usual, by now, familiar formation. Always a tight affair. Manchester United playing in green and white stripes today. Five minutes on the clock. Throw in from Parisi on that far side. Back to Parisi. Parisi creating a bit of space. Anthony has pulled down Xavier. And it could be a penalty. Like I said, these I've not seen one overturned yet. It's a question whether it's right on the edge of the area, though, I guess. It is a penalty. And who's going to take it? It looks like Ward-Prowse to me. It is Ward-Prowse. Ward-Prowse! Oh, he's saved by Melee. It never looked convincing, did it? Anyway, Ward-Prowse gets the ensuing corner. It's going to be an in-swinger. Zuma! Oh, couldn't get on the end of that. And a chance goes begging. It was almost telegraphed. It wasn't a good penalty. 11, nearly 12 minutes on the clock. Luke Shaw with a throw into Fernandes. Casemiro, Fernandes, don't give him the space. He did, and it's gone wide though. Mazzulia had it covered. Martinez with a free kick. And Parisi tracking back, wins that. Zuma through to Kudos. Kudos, and Anthony gets in there, but it's cut out by Ward-Prowse. Abraham out to Wagnerman. Wagnerman now. What's he going to do? Cuts it inside to Kudos! And question whether he's offside or not. And he did look a bit. He did look a bit. Not convinced this is a goal. No, it's not. And we've scored. Well, not scored, but we've had two chances and two have gone begging. Oh, there's not much in it though, is there? Oh, very big question mark over that one. Bruno Fernandes stands over this one. It's into the area. Zuma tidies up. Abraham forward, but there's nobody there. Come on, Abraham. You watch what you're doing. That could be, and if that turns into a goal now, Abraham's wasteful pass, he'd have been better off just holding on to it. It's very poor. Wimbasaka over the top. Mazzulia's going to get there, though. And it was well guarded by Upamecano. Guided that into Mazzulia. Stood between him and the attacker. Mazzulia, the highlight is continuing. It's 36 minutes on the clock. That's forward, but it's a poor ball. Martinez underneath that. And Manchester United come forward again. He's crossed into the area. and it's Kanate just couldn't quite get enough on that to direct it in, just wide of the post. Rashford, Kanate in space, just wide. A corner, it's going to be a short one. Ward-Prowse, quite sure he was out there. Bowen, wriggling around. Ward-Prowse crosses it deep. It's nobody there to get a Wagnerman. Heads it down. Xavier Zuma out to Bowen. And Bowen. Oh, question whether he was offside or not. Again. And it's disallowed for that. So we are having atrocious luck here. Really are. Xavier and Bowen, at the time that ball was released to him, was in an offside position, more so than we're the only consolations to that first half is that it is 0-0 at half time. Could have been the other way around, I guess, but we've had a penalty missed, 2 goals disallowed. The Kudos one I question. Bowen definitely was offside. James Ward-Prowse a poor penalty. And it leaves us a 0-0 at half time. 4 shots, 2 on target, 1.06, 48% of the possession. They had 8 shots, 4 on target, and 52% of the possession. It's a game of wits. And 50 minutes on the clock. Wagnerman with a long throw, throws it to Kudos. Back to Wagnerman. Wagnerman to Kudos. Kudos is going to try and create some space. He has a shot. Puts it just wide. Luke Shaw with a throw in on that far side. 60 minutes on the clock. Rashford cuts inside. Martinez. Shaw. Rashford. Fernandez. It's sort of cut out. Abraham finds Kudos. Can we attack now? Kudos. Parisi. We haven't seen much of him. Cuts it in. Oh, Bowen straight at the goalkeeper. Souček cuts it back. No penalty. Goes out for a throw. We'll see it again. And another missed chance here. Will we rue these missed chances? Parisi cuts it back. And Bowen and Melee making a fine save. 64 on the clock. A free kick. Ward-Prowse. Ward-Prowse has a go. And it's gone out. And with 68 minutes on the clock virtually, we're going to take off Jarrod Bowen. He's not doing particularly well up front. Mohamed Kudos moves up into the attack alongside Abraham. Samadic coming on as the advanced midfielder or attacking midfielder just to see if we can get a breakthrough. Don't want to change things up too much too quickly, but we may have to make a change in centre of midfield as well. Ward-Prowse not having a fantastic game there either. We just need somebody to pull the strings. And I think it may well be very shortly time for Paqueta to come on and see if he can change it up a little bit. And with 73 minutes on the clock, making 2 more changes, we have taken off Ward-Prowse. Cajera comes on in his place, and Lucas Paqueta is on for Xavier Shalaga, who has picked up a yellow card. He's tiring as well. So we brought him on in midfield, and that's how we set up at the moment. Free kick, Fernandez. It's well over the top. They've taken off Kanate and brought on Hoyland up front. And it looks like they've just made another change as well. We'll check that one out in just a second. And with 82 minutes on the clock, making 1 more change. Emerson is on for Fabiano Parisi on the left side. He's coming back, not coming back from injury, but he's tiring. So we've taken him off and still looking for that breakthrough. We have a corner now. Samadic, 86 minutes on the clock. Samadic with an outswinger. Swung in, headed clear. Paqueta brings it down to Samadic. Samadic back to Paqueta. Oh, it's come off the crossbar. Wagnerman with a long throw. Is our luck going to change somewhere? Abraham not winning that ball. But it's cut back. Kudos, can he do something with this? Abraham and Varane blocks the shot. 88 on the clock now. Samadic with another corner. Another outswinger on this side. Just need a little bit of luck. Could win this at 1 goal like this now. Could win it. It's swung in. It's Abraham's back into the area, but Melee collects. Highlight looks like it's going to continue. It's thrown out to Martinez. Short. And Rashford in space. Oh, good save by Mazulia. Saved the day, but he was offside. Wouldn't have counted had it gone in. But for a second there, it looked desperate. Højlund, well, look, well offside, but a good save by Mazulia anyway. And it's gone to extra time. And I think Manchester United happy with that. A lot of punch in the air there. 13 shots, 6 on target. We've played far better in that second half. 2.17, just couldn't find a way through. 46% of the possession. They've had 11 shots, 5 on target. 1.13, 54% of the possession. Extra time then here at Wembley. First period of extra time. And Samadic winning that ball. Zuma over the top. Tammy Abraham. What's he going to do? Oh, he's hit the post. We are right. If we lose this, luck's not on our side. Fernandes with a corner now. For Manchester United, don't let this happen. It's not. It's come away. Rashford is there. Cuts it back inside. Fernandes over the top. He's not been on target so far. Soufal with a long throw. Back out to Soufal. Soufal. Just need a moment of inspiration here. Zuma getting in a tangle. But we've still kept the ball. Akera. Soufal. Soufal. Straight to the goalkeeper. And it's half time in extra time. 16 shots, 7 on target. We're still continuing with that reasonable form. 2.57, 44% of the possession. They have 12 shots, 5 on target, 56% of the possession. All substitutes have been placed. Mazulia with a free kick through to Emerson. 111 minutes on the clock. Emerson losing that ball. Oh, Garnacho. He's going to cross this in. Oh, he's not. He's going to Latimer. He's crossed deep. Oh, Mazulia. And makes the save. He's been on form today. So far. Famous last words. Garnacho. And Lima. Oh, and on the head of Fernandes. Is this going to penalties? It's a goal kick. No, it's not. Martinez has got the killer blow. Second goal of the season for him. And on 113 minutes, it looks like our FA Cup dream is over for retaining the trophy. And it's what it came down to in the end. And it is all over. That Martinez goal on 114 minutes has knocked us out of the FA Cup. We had our chances. But we didn't put them away. 18 shots, 9 on target, 2.74, 44% of the possession. They had 14 shots, 7 on target, 1.40 and 56% of the possession. As always, a very, very tight game. Mazulia did his best to keep us in, but I think Melee in the Manchester United goal really kept us out. 9.1 player of the match. Yeah, I think that sort of sums it up really, doesn't it? And it was always going to be one of those, I think. It was going to take one goal and one moment of inspiration. And it was Martinez who got it for Manchester United. They're through to the final. And we've lost our second cup in a row to Manchester United. Well, very annoying. It is. And we sort of kept them at bay until the 114th minute. Really, really annoying. And actually, I think the other thing to mention is when you look at the substitutes, there wasn't anybody really come on that changed that game. And I think also perhaps a bit of tiredness from the AC Milan game, which is a bit disappointing because, we don't. But anyway, we can now focus on the league and obviously the Champions League, albeit we've got a massive match against Paris Saint-Germain to come. Actually, what I'm going to do is just going to come back in a second, find out who wins the other semi-final in the FA Cup, and then you'll see who's going to be in the final. before we see the result for the other semi-final. We'll just bring you up to date what's happening in the Premier League. Games have been played. Burnley losing 2-1 to Crystal Palace. Everton beating Bournemouth by 2-1. Matches that we didn't want to go the way that they have. Liverpool beating Leicester by 2-1. They move up into second place at the moment, albeit we've got 3 games in hand over us. They're 2 points in front of us. And Manchester City win again. They're beating Wolves 4-1, which means that they have 13-point gap over us. Albeit now we do have 3 games. So with 9 points, we would still be those 4 points behind them. We just need them to slip up once sometime in their run-in. They've got 3 games left to play. One of those 3 games, all 3 games would be very good. If they were to lose all 3 games, then it would give us the advantage. I don't think they're going to do it. I might be a little bit too late, and that draw against Leeds, I think, has probably done it. Otherwise, we still stood a little bit of a chance of getting past them. That's the annoying thing. Right, FA Cup, other FA Cup semi-final result in just a moment. And the final is going to be Manchester United versus Arsenal, by virtue of the fact that Arsenal have beaten Brentford by 3-2. Brentford taking the lead after 8. They equalised. Arsenal equalised a minute later, making it 1-1, and then took the lead after 52 minutes. Janssen equalising for Brentford after 74, but Zinchenko getting the winning goal after 83 minutes. So that is how the other semi-final finished up. We're going to play Brentford and Wolves offline. We need to get results against both those, and they are away from home. But we need to get, if we drop any points against those, then our chances of catching Manchester City are definitely out the window. We're going to come back for Paris Saint-Germain and Crystal Palace in the next episode. It's the Champions League semi-final first leg. Can we get one step into the final? I'd like to think so. We've not been playing badly of late, but the Manchester United game, they just seem to be a thorn in our side. I think we need to get our own back on them when they come to the London Stadium towards the end of the season. Fingers crossed that we can do as well. Right, well, I hope you've enjoyed today's episode. Sorry if it's been a little bit long. If you have, don't forget to leave me that big thumbs up. Subscribe, hit the notification button, leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. And obviously, by hitting the notification button, it keeps you up to date with all future episodes of Irons in the Fire and our other series, bottom to the top, as they are released. New episodes of Irons in the Fire released every Monday and Thursday at 4:15 p.m. And the best way of keeping up to date with what's happening on the channel is to follow me on X, formerly known as Twitter, at JustOffside2. Hope to see you for the next episode. It will be episode 47. It's out on Thursday. Until then, have yourselves a great week. Bye-bye.